Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is V. If this is your first time stopping by, you're welcome. And to my returning subscribers, thank you for stopping by. In today's video, we'll be making this delicious spinach and egusi stew. If you like to see how I made this video and this recipe, please keep watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button, subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate, and please comment down below what recipes you like me to make. Let's get cooking. For this recipe, you need some ground egusi, some oil, some chili peppers. Peppers are optional. You need some ground uziza seed or bush pepper, some onions, some seasoning cubes, and some spinach. I'm using frozen spinach today, but you can use fresh spinach. I will also need some ground crayfish and some tomatoes, and of course some protein. I'll be using goat meat and pomo or kanda, or what you call beef skin. Into the pan, I'll add some chili peppers. It's still optional. Peppers are optional. Some seasoning cubes. I like using crayfish seasoning cubes in this recipe. You also need some salt and a little bit of water, and you cover and let this boil for about 10 minutes. So while the meat is on the stove, I'm gonna strain the spinach and squeeze out the water. Not too dry, I'm just gonna squeeze out a little bit of water because I need it to be still moist. I'm just gonna squeeze out the water and set this aside. So I'm gonna check my meat, and as you can see, the pot has burned on the side, but that's fine. I'm just gonna add in some water, enough to cover the meat, and let this cook for another 10 minutes or so. So I'm going to chop my onions now. I'm going to chop the onions and the tomatoes. Sorry guys, when I was chopping these onions and tomatoes, I thought my camera was recording while chopping the tomatoes, but apparently the angle wasn't right, so I didn't get a shot of me chopping the tomatoes. But yeah, I did chop the tomatoes, and you see that later. So what you can see, I just took some stock from the goat meat on the stove, and I'm just mixing this. If you don't have the stock, it's important you use hot water, not cold water. You need a pudding-like consistency. You don't need this to be runny. It has to be thick enough. That's what will give it like a crumbled texture. It's important to you use dry egusi and not wet egusi, because while blending you might go too hard on the water. So I'm just going to add this egusi into the pot at this time. As you can see, it's in big chunks, and this will give it that flaky and pudding like. You'll see what I mean later in the video. So I'm just gonna add this in the pot, cover this, and let it cook with the meat for another 15 to 20 minutes. And also, after adding the egusi, please don't forget to add some of the bush pepper or the uziza, ground uziza, and a little bit of crayfish as well. Then you cover and let this cook for 15 and 20 minutes. So this has been cooking for over 15 to 20 minutes now. As you can see, the stock is reduced. I'm gonna let this reduce for a little bit more, for about 3 more minutes, because I don't want it to be too watery. Yep, so now you can see that's what I'm looking at. It's almost burnt but not burnt, and I'm gonna add in my spinach at this point and mix and stir this together and let it cook for about 2 more minutes. So let's go a little bit off cooking now. I just want to share a lesson I've learned while starting my YouTube channel. And that's, don't let your mind make something seem too difficult or impossible to do, or make it too easy to do. Because most times when I used to watch YouTube channels and cooking videos, I'm like, it's just sitting at home and cooking. How bad can it be? You know, until I started shooting videos, then I know it's not as easy as the mind makes it to be. And same as it's not as difficult as the mind can make things to be. So, yeah, that's my tip. So I transferred the vegetable mix and put into a pan. And I'm going to heat some oil, as you can see. And I add some onions. You need lots of onions in this recipe, but if you don't like onions, you can put as much as you want. I'll stir this for about 2 to 3 minutes until it becomes translucent. Then I add in my chopped tomatoes, as you can see now, and I'm going to fry this for about 5 minutes on medium-high heat. So the tomatoes has been cooking for about 5 minutes now, and I'm going to add in the spinach and egusi mix. I'm stirring this as I add and cooking this for about 3 minutes more so all the ingredients can incorporate together. At this point, I'm telling you, my house is smelling heavenly. I can't wait to eat this. I've cooked my fufu corn on the side. I'm not a good fufu cooker, so my fufu corn is not the smoothest, but yeah, I'll have my fufu corn on the side. Back home, if you don't know, guys, I'm from Cameroon. Back home, we call this fufu corn and Njama Njama. I didn't have huckleberry. That's the typical vegetable we use, so I use spinach as a substitute, and this works fine for me. But yeah, if you have huckleberry, that's better. This even goes so well with bitter leaf. I'm telling you, try bitter leaf. That's not been cut, but has just been washed with like its stems in it. Try this with bitter leaf. I'm telling you, you thank me later. As you can see, I added some crayfish, and I'm gonna pair this later with my fufu corn and have a good time. Have a chill glass of wine, and voila, life goes on. So guys, if you like this video, please consider subscribing, share, comment down below what you'd like me to do next, and give this a thumbs up. Thank you for stopping by. Bye. See you in my next video.